And welcome to the Faux Sung Elizabeth Cookie Show. I am the CEO and Mistress Secretary of Goddesses Incorporated and the ultimate anime mascot goddess, covering all things from women of the anime world, Bisoujo Senshi, and women of fighting video games. So, thank you for joining me with Season 3, Episode 2 of the Faux Sung Elizabeth Cookie Show at the end of this current month. So, the first thing I'm going to begin is with my current events before I get right down into the gaming review, the anime review, and of course, the life lesson learner reality, and the new female fighting video gaming tournament strategy. So first things first, which I got my little trusty binder right here, I wanted to talk about the PlayStation Network. For all of us that are that have a PS3 and are on the network, we all know right now that the PSN network is down. This is an unfortunate incident as the network was infiltrated April 19th by some hacker. As we all know, something like this would never be happening to Microsoft because no one will run up on Microsoft wearing a training bra. So of course, for us that play fighting video games and other online games on the PS3, we will have to wait until PS Network resolves this matter as of right now. But of course, if you have any of your personal information that has been on the network, most likely it has been stolen along with the other millions of people that deal with PS and Sony. I do ask that you monitor your credit history, your credit cards, your debit information if you had that online. Next thing right now, doing a favor for a friend in Texas. He wanted me to talk a little bit about the Tekken and Street Fighter crossover. As for right now, I won't be doing really much reviews about it until the game actually comes out so I can get a test of it, get a feel for it. Right now, as I feel, and that's just me, I'm not so really excited about it. But it will be interesting to see how Tekken characters look in the Capcom universe and how Street Fighters have gameplay and combo abilities within the Namco universe. It's interesting to see. I did see the opening video. I did see some gameplay stuff right now, as it is a work in progress. Next thing on the agenda, for those who don't know, following the release of Mortal Kombat 9 for Xbox and PlayStation networking video gaming consoles, MK Legacy, the 9 to 10 part Rebirth filming series live action, of course, has been airing on machinima.com, MACHINIMA, machinima.com. Please go check that out. Recently, episode 3 has debuted. This one was all about Johnny Cage and his filming network. His episode was portrayed like a true Hollywood story that you would see on cable. Episodes 1 and 2 that aired 2 weeks ago was about Jax and Sonya. Sonya gets captured by Kano, by the Black Dragon. Of course, Major Jackson Briggs goes after her to save him. Jax gets into a confrontation with Kano, knocks out his eye, and it becomes the reason as to why he has the cybernetic technology on his left side. They try to link that in with the video game. During the arcade mode, you find out how Kano upgrades the eye and gets more cybernetic technology, linking himself within a matrix network, having a fight with Jax in the cyber universe. Very interesting. I liked what I saw. But of course, as you know, my coverage is mostly with females only. So next week, Monday or Tuesday, will be the legendary battle between Katana and Melina. I've been waiting for that battle for over 20 years to see this. And I'm very highly excited. I wonder if they're going to show King Jared or if they're going to show Sindel in this. Can't wait to see it. I'm very excited, very excited. Another thing I've been wanting to talk about too, sometime last year some information leaked online about Sega releasing a new next generation console. The rumor that leaked out online was talking about how this new generational system would not only play Sega CD, Sega Saturn games, Sega Dreamcast games, but even their new format media disc that they've been talking about. Like I said, I'm just putting it out there. It was a rumor, something that leaked out online, and then the page was instantaneously ripped off. But if this is true, this will be a dream come true for a lot of Sega fans such as myself who have been collecting Dreamcast, Sega CD, and Sega Saturn games. As you can see, I put them on display in my background. Hope this is true whenever that may come to fruition. Sega, let us know. Another thing, the Paradise Kiss movie. This is a live-action adaptation of an episode OVA, which is a prequel to Neighborhood Stories, if you don't know. Paradise Kiss, the creator who also did Nana, very highly acclaimed fashion type anime about a female who gets randomly selected by a bisexual guy named George, who is an aspiring fashion designer who wants his fashions to be something much bigger than what they are. Seeing the anime, I loved every minute of it, especially Isabella, who was a cross-dresser who can't wait to see who portrays him in the actual live-action movie. Paradise Kiss, underground brand name that will become something much bigger than it was when George's dream comes true one day. That is live-action adaptation of the movie from the anime. If you want to know really more about the anime, see Neighborhood Stories. It's about an aspiring female named Momoko who wants to become not only a fashion model but a fashion designer. Her younger sister is in Paradise Kiss, and one of the episodes actually has her sister come in and do a show and tell, and then you'll understand that this is actually Paradise Kiss, a sequel of Neighborhood Stories. Sometime next month in my third episode, I'm going to talk more deeper about the Paradise Kiss saga, the OVA, and the movie. The movie was supposed to be coming out this month, but actually I received word through online sources that the live action movie will be coming out between next month and the following month to go. So check that out, Paradise Kiss live action movie. Also on my news agenda is that I have two clubs, the San Jose Anime Theater and the Acrobatics on Anime Parkour group. So you know, I have shut down my meetup.com pages only because I did not want to pay $19 a month to keep on hosting the pages. Even though I'm still building up clientele and building up members, I have a personal website right now, fosungecookie.com, which has now been completed. It will be uploaded between next month or the following month because I'm uploading all of my MP3s and rare anime music to a media site so that you can click from my website to that extra link to download any music that you are collecting in the anime universe. Unfortunately, right now, the site that I'm using, that I made my website on, doesn't allow me to upload music. And because of that, I have to have a third-party support that has all my music. So when you click the link, you could get to my music collection. It will be free to the whole anime universe. And so with that, my website will also be advertising not only that, but the Acrobatics on Anime, which will continue to meet up at its new scheduled time, Wednesdays from 8 o'clock to 9:30 p.m. and Saturdays from 2:30 to 4 o'clock over at Vegas Integrated Tumbling on 1111 Felipe Avenue. That's 1111 Felipe Avenue in San Jose, California. And of course, the first Wednesdays of every month, we'll be continuing to host the San Jose Anime Theater here at my complex at Art Arc Apartments at 1058 South 5th Street. The website will be doing more media coverage on that and more advertisements on that, so stay tuned. The sites are still running, just not on meetup.com where it's costing me money. Now I can just have it for free and do my advertisements through that. So now I'm going to get to my anime review. And today's anime review of choice is Canaan. Canaan, C-A-N-A-A-N, Canaan. It's a 13-episode OVA that follows the protagonist of this female, of course, named Canaan, who is a casualty of war and a survivor of a virus called Ula. This Ula virus, in which she survives, she gets special powers from becoming a survivor of it, which allows her to see the aura of particular people when she uses it in combat. Canaan, who gets rescued by a soldier, teaches her the way of combat and how to use her special gifts, her being a Ula virus survivor. These survivors of the Ula virus are known as borners because they have these special abilities. And the abilities vary from telepathy to psychic to being able to see one's aura to being able to control sonic waves with your mouth, so on and so forth. The series progresses as Canaan, who has a special relationship with the guy who taught her how to fight and how to use her special powers, gets murdered by a female named Alucard, who is in charge of a terrorist group known as Snake. So it follows the story of Canaan, who wants to get revenge on this lady who killed her master. And at the same time, this Alucard woman is also using Maria, a new character introduced within the series, who's one of Canaan's best friends, uses her as bait to lure her into uncanny traps and in adventures as this series progresses. If you're into chicks with guns and into females action martial arts, this is the anime for you. The voice actress who played Muriel Bouquet in Noir is the voice actress of Canaan. And so this was an excellent selection, as that voice actress was already used to playing assassin-type female roles. So Canaan fits the very same persona as Noir or Mad Lax, Nautical Blitz Tactics, or anything dealing with female martial arts, chicks with guns. This anime has a lot of parkour, free running, gymnastics, martial arts involved, and you will really enjoy it. I don't want to reveal too much more about the storyline, but it's 13 episodes OVA. You can get it, I believe, from Crunchyroll.com. It's also released at various media anime sources such as Best Buy. You could get it from there. I believe it's on DVD right now. Get it, take a look at it, tell me what you think. This is my review of it. Already seen all of it. Don't want to reveal more than what is expected. I want y'all to see it. Tell me what you think of it. Canaan, 13 episodes. Y'all like it? Chicks with anime type, guns, martial arts, action, free running, parkour. Yes. And so my video game review of today's episode is Parasite Eve 3, the third birthday. As we all know, this game was released as a sequel to parts 1 and 2, but only for the PSP handheld gaming system. As we all know, we waited 9 to 10 years for a sequel of Parasite Eve. Parasite Eve wouldn't have been seen again since PS1. The game skipped PS2, skipped PS3, and then just jumped to PSP, the handheld gaming system. I was very excited when the game came out. I beat it, the Japanese one, back in January. I actually beat it on my birthday, January 8th. And the American release was released this month in April. Of course, it follows the series protagonist, Aya Brea, as it is a sub-sequel to Parasite Eve 2, where Parasite Eve 3, the third birthday as it's called, is about Aya Brea having to travel back in time to rechange some of the events in the past to preserve her future, in which she marries Kyle Madigan and has a family with Eve, who was the test subject of Parasite Eve 2. If you know anything about Parasite Eve, it is actually a sequel of the actual movie and of a novel created by Hideki Sinha, my mistake, where the events in New York happen once again like it was in Japan, but only this time in New York, Eve was actually able to find a type match of semen sample where she was able to create the ultimate being, which was Eve's ultimate goal in Japan, but couldn't find a host, and so she died. This time she's able to find a host in New York and wreaks havoc all over New York City. The destruction of Eve and the ultimate being, and if you played the EX game in PS1, the original Eve in the Chrysler building will lead to Aya honing her special abilities and being transferred to the Los Angeles division known as MIST, Mitochondrial Investigation Suppression Team, where there's the government group over there took a lot of the samples of what was left over from the New York incident and tried to reculture the whole incident once more, where the mitochondrial cells are now overtaking viruses. So now you have virus creatures wreaking havoc in Dryfield, Nevada, and all over Los Angeles. And so after the end of that incident, Parasite Eve 3, the third birthday, then goes into how she gets transferred from the Mist Division in Los Angeles and then gets carried over right back to New York once more. To recap the incidences all over again. The third birthday takes place in between 2011 all the way up between 2014 as she jumps through time using a device called the overdrive system to travel back to battle these crazy creatures known as the Twisted. So I don't want to release too much more information about the third birthday PSP gaming console. Please check that game out if you're a Parasite Eve fan. It's been long awaited. We've been waiting a long time for this game, 9 to 10 years. Hopefully Square Enix gets the picture that we also want to see other sequels to their other older games. I would love to see a sequel to Threads of Fate, Do Prism, and Japan. Last but not least, so we all know, for the world to know, the theme song to the third birthday, Eyes on Me, created by the group Superfly, that also had the licenses to make it over to the American release. Thank God, because I thought that that song would not make it over, and I would have been highly disappointed if it didn't. So the port was done very well, the translations was done very well, and that's all that I'm going to say about this video game. Get it, beat it. It's very hard, but when you do, you'll like it. And for anyone who's a Parasite Eve fan at all, it really does satisfy the hunger for a new sequel. And so now getting to my life lesson learned in reality. I was thinking for a while, I had 1 month to think about, of course, what life lesson I wanted to leave the world with today on how to live our lives with substance and enrich, ourselves. And it occurred to me, the Little Red Hen. I know, right? So I'm saying, why the Little Red Hen? Well, as kids, as toddlers, if you're lucky enough to go to preschool, some of us, we jump to elementary school, then middle school, and so forth. In those grade schools, we get all these different little fairy tales, from Cinderella, to, what's another one? The Little Engine That Could, and of course, one of these is the Little Red Hen. So I'm using the Little Red Hen as my analogy. So check this. As we go back in time to our childhood, you'll understand that back then it was just a little kid story. But now that damn story was really talking about real life. The Little Red Hen and her farm friends, the pig, the goat, the sheep, the dog, and the cat. Some friends they are, and in some versions the goose or the swan or whatever. Little Red Hen builds herself a little farm. And amongst this farm, she is building wheat because she has her own agenda to go make either, in which version that you've read, a loaf of bread or some cake. She needs help to plant the seeds. But of course, when she asks her friends, they're too busy doing other stuff. So of course, what the Little Red Hen does is, well, she gets herself off her ass. She does not complain. That's the part I love about her. And she plants the seeds herself. And, of course, over a month's time, the seeds then become what? They become this big harvest of wheat. So then after they become the harvest of wheat, then she asks her friends, the cat, the dog, the geese, the goat, the pig, the cow, whatever, can you please help me cut down and harvest the wheat? And of course, they let her know, well, not this time because we're busy doing other stuff. Not I, said the cat. Not I, said the dog. And not I, said the pig. Which is the famous lines that they say each time around the hen needs some help accomplishing her goal. So of course, without complaining, following the way of the Buddha, the Little Red Hen cuts down the wheat. And of course, not only does she cut down the wheat, she then takes it over to the mill. And of course, she asks her friends, well, because this is so much wheat, can you at least help me grind this wheat into the flour? And of course, we all know that her friend says, no, I'm too busy doing other shit. So the Little Red Hen does that too. She goes, does not complain. The key word, does not complain. And she does, and she harvests it herself. Makes it into the flour. Then comes the the next to last part. Can you help me come and make this bread, or whichever version you read, the cake? And of course, the dog, the cat, the pig, the sheep, the geese has other shit going on. And they do not want to help her make that cake or that loaf of bread. So of course, keyword again, she's not complaining, not complaining. She makes the bread or the cake herself. Now here comes the kicker part, and this is the part that talks about life. Will anyone help me eat the bread or the cake? And then this is when everybody comes out of the woodwork. Yes, I will. I will. And guess what? I was there since the beginning. I was supporting you on when you was making the cake. And now everybody wants a slice of the cake. Now, here's where things differ. In the Little Red Hen story, she ate the cake and the loaf of bread in front of all of them. But this is where I want us as a society and us as people to change. Do not do that. Show the world that you are better than that. Show the world that you're going to share that slice of cake and you're going to share the loaf of bread, even though the people that you thought that were your friends did not help you accomplish your mission or your goal. Be better than that. Be Buddha-like. Be Christ-like. Be better than that. Because we all know that in times of life, those who show mercy, mercy is then given to us. A closed hand can neither give nor receive. And even though that you worked by yourself and you did this on your own and no one helped you, did that, the only way to reap Christ rewards and rewards from the stars of the universe is to show the society that this bullshit is going to end with you, and that no, you're not going to be like them and you are better than that. And so by sharing that cake and that slice of bread, that you're going to end this cycle of negativity. I'm talking about the Little Red Hen because we have so many false people in our lives that say, oh yes, we're going to help you, and then when you need help, there's no one there. And so, of course, the writer and the author of that book was onto something. But I guess maybe she had some bitter hatred or some bitterness that she couldn't let go. And so at the end of her storybook, the bitch hen went and ate the cake in front of everybody. But no, I'm going to change that. And I want all of you to change your mentality, that we're all better than that. And that once you accomplish your goal, whether you had help or not, share the slice of cake. And so I'm going to leave you with my last of my notes. Stay tuned quite shortly to the next episode following this. That is the video game strategy. Today's video game strategy of choice is Mastered Tournament Combos with Katana from Mortal Kombat 9. From now on, my gaming strategy videos will just go into the combos, and then I will give you my review at the end of it all. Let me know what you think of these strategy combos, and of course, let me know what you think of this episode. Thank you so much for tuning in to episode 2, season 3 of the Full Song Elizabeth Cookie Show.